Well, that's interesting. The way the sun looks just above the horizon with this iPad camera. It's like a huge ball. And today was a day which gets repeated on a monthly occasion for me. Every day, once a month I have to go in to the local medical establishment to be really cared for by the doctors there. They don't like doing what they have to do to me, but it's not too bad. Being a long time member of the insane community, or diagnosed as insane, has its moments, but it's not a bad. Could be a lot worse. Other countries are a lot less patient with people who have issues than Australia. Over here we've got a piece of junk. It's supposedly, or hopefully, going to be turned into something not junk. It's a device that was used and still is used in places to compact cotton into modules. It's called a module builder. And that thing at the back is a hydraulic, a tower, and it had a hydraulic roller which has been removed. It's sitting over there in the grass. Yeah. The management of cotton has come a long way over the last century. It used to be picked by hand now, and now the latest device is a great big machine which makes round bales, a bit like hay bales, but just bigger, and wraps them up in, I think it's about $40 worth of plastic goes on each one to keep the cotton together. And there's a road at the boundary of this green paddock and the next, and the trucks are sort of finished now because the season's over, but when the cotton season's on and they're picking, there's trucks going up and down there all the time, loaded with road trains, loaded with round bales of cotton. This crop I'm walking in is called chickpeas. This is a dryland crop, so it's entirely rain fed, and we planted them. It's a bit questionable what we did with this planting, because we had good rain early in April and then not much rain after it for like 6 weeks, and the moisture was running out, but it was still too early, because really it's a bit risky, because if we can find they're starting to flower, if they're planted too early, the frosts will destroy the fruit which sets. So you can see they've got a pink, like a pink flower. Where are we? Yeah, there's a pink flower. So if we get a frost, which is certainly forecast, all those flowers which are here now will probably be aborted. But thinking is there's plenty of moisture, so they'll just keep potting and reflowering as the frosts diminish, as it warms up after winter, and the crop may still be okay. And another one of the issues we had is where I'm walking now is one of the boom spray tracks, where the boom spray drives up and down, and it's compacted, and it was dry because hadn't rained for nearly a month when we planted it, so the moisture was getting quite marginal, and we didn't get a particularly good strike. A strike is the number of, or the percentage that emerge through the soil, the number of seeds that actually make it to the surface. And this is a band of trees which we see from our house. Our house is to the south and the shed, and then as we look out to the north we see this lovely band of brigalow, Wilga brigalow scrub. There's the odd bottle tree. This is a bottle tree straight ahead. There's occasional bottle tree in these brigalow scrubs. And near the scrub here, there's also a lot of wildlife in this scrub. Wallabies and the like, and they come out of a night time and enjoy themselves at our expense. They even eat chickpea, which we didn't think they would eat chickpea, but we haven't grown chickpea much in the past. This is the first time we've put it in this paddock and anywhere near the wallabies. And yeah, it turns out they actually quite like eating it. So, yeah, learn a new thing every time, I suppose. There's some posts there that were cut, they're called billets, cut down, big old trees cut down to make fence posts for fences. And it's sort of a project that's been abandoned for the minute. And this is the old track through the scrub. I hope you might be able to hear those birds. There's lovely bird sounds in this scrub. Doesn't matter what time of day, it seems there's I hope you can hear those sounds like I can. They're just a delight. There's vines, quite a few vines in the scrub which climb up the brigalows. And there's a nasty, if you look down here, you can see that's a brigalow burr, and there's a lot of them in here. That makes it very, very uncomfortable to walk bare feet, unless you walk carefully, where there's prickles. And there's green bush, of which there's quite a few, and they're getting more and more populous in the scrub. Is a wilga bush, wilga tree. It's got a very like a narrow leaf, and it's a very sort of almost fragrant scent in its leaves. Yeah, so things like this just like take a bit entirely different experience to trying to fix machines or be busy. Just walk around here and enjoy the sound. There's a green brigalow burrs. You won't find these in the gardens of Brisbane. Yeah. You put them on, if you're a naughty student, you could put them in the teacher's chair or something like that, I suppose. But yeah. Oh, there's another bottle tree, quite a tall one. And the poor wallabies, they must be starving in here. They breed up and there's virtually no grass in the brigalows. All they've got's the crop. And they're very elusive. You're very quick to get out of the way when you're walking around. You generally don't see them. You can see them at night with a light. They come out and graze at night, and bright light will dazzle them. Another problem with these trees is they suck the moisture. Their roots go out, and it's a double whammy. The roots suck the moisture, which if we get organised and drive down the side with a deep ripping tine, we can rip a, won't kill the trees, you can just stop the roots temporarily, and do that every few years. It'd certainly be worth doing. So there's more chickpeas out here. Yeah, that sun's still above the horizon, but it looks like it's going to be set soon. Yeah. Go back. Yes, the scrub's one of my favourite places on the farm. It's always nice being in fields too when they're green with crops, but yeah, there's just something about the ambience of timber. It's cooler, it's shady, I suppose the trees are just standing there doing nothing and setting an example, I think. They grow slowly, they're not trying to, in a big rush to go anywhere. Yes, being in the mental health system with, I might say, with some good reason, in my case. Yeah, it's things like this, things that get you into trouble, just you're generally in a rush, trying to do something or achieve something or be something. There's just no need for it. That's how I just trying to put the pieces together and get better. Oh, there you go, still in the Brigalow Burr. See, he's got spikes on him. I don't know how the Aborigines, they must have lived here, but gee, they must have had tough feet to manage these burrs. Yeah. The farm we're on's called Daylight Plains, and the story is it was called that along with another farm about 20 k's up the road, which was called Sunshine Plains. It was named that because it was a place where they could see the sun shining on the ground. It wasn't timbered, sort of natural open plain. But this patch of it here certainly was different to what a lot of it must have looked like. There's some rocks in the soil here. This is very light rocks. In some areas of the place there are quite big rocks, which can be a problem with machinery. I've been picking them up and relocating them. There was a plastic container back there at the other side of the scrub, which my dad, Phil, he likes to be active, and he's been filling up with rocks from around there. This is probably one of the nice, healthier crops of chickpea I've seen grown here. Over there, you can just see a bit of something shiny in the trees. That's a field bin with some wheat seed in it. And the trees keep it shaded and the tarps keep the water out of it. You always need a supply of seed when farming. If you don't have seed, you can't plant a crop. It's very important that there are reserves of seed. You've got to think ahead about what we're going to plant, and sometimes you can buy seed, sometimes you can't. Quite often that they run out, especially if there's farmers, dryland farmers in particular, I think, often change what they're going to plant depending on the weather and very importantly also on the market conditions. See the moon up there? Yeah. So we planted this. When we planted this, the price of chickpeas was about $800 a tonne, which is pretty good. And the Indians are the main buyer of Australian chickpeas. They're very keen consumers of the things they make out of it. I don't mind chickpeas in a nice chickpea salad. They're alright, but yeah. See the horizon over there, you've got Yeah, it's quite a picturesque horizon with two mountain ranges. And there's a mine which is really making a mess of the view. It's got a plateau top there. It's a bit hard to see, but it's always lovely looking out over sort of ranges to the west when the sun's setting. And there to the east is our neighbour, Neville. He's got a lovely green hill at the moment. Beautiful crop of wheat, and he's got some chickpeas up top. One of the things about chickpeas is the lay of the land. If an extra 20 metres of elevation of height can make a big difference to how severe the frosts are. So having it up high means you can get less risk of a hard frost. As we This is brown clay soil. You can see digging there. You don't have to dig far, and you can make a mud ball. It sticks together. It's good surface moisture. It's almost a full, we call a full profile, which is when the soil can't hold any more moisture and it starts to run off when it rains. Lying in the paddock is something you will not see anywhere else, anywhere. We might, in a later edition, cover it a bit. It's currently dismantled. The wheels have come out from under it, but my brother Tim, he's a bit of a thinker, and he's working on something called a poly irrigator. It's his own invention. There's 100 metres of 90 mil ID internal diameter poly, and there's 4 of these. He's got guardrail here, which was second hand surplus metal, which was very cheap. He's used one of the metal underneath the guardrail with those. It's actually a part of just a portable yard panel, so they're used, very common. They're cheap and abundant resource, and they're used for building yards. And then there's iron posts for stays, but the wheels had to come out because today we did the trial. We put water in this pipe, which it's 100 metres of pipe, and there'd be half a tonne of water in it, and unfortunately the wheels just weren't strong enough. And yes, as happens with new ideas, it needed some improvement. There's the old barn. And there's an auger. That red thing's an auger, a short little auger. And behind it's a couple of shiny fuel tanks. And here's not an auger, it's a belt, but it does the same thing a little bit differently. It's just a conveyor belt, and then that going up in that tube on that metal frame, which we haven't yet finished fixing up. Yeah, looking at machines is, yeah, I prefer to look at nature and see where. We live here on this farm with our parents, and they're a bit minimalist in their tendencies, and some of their, me and my brother, and more my brother than me, I think, tend to see the value in accumulating stuff which could potentially be useful. So it's a bit of a balancing act. Over there is the old lady cat called Ravina. She's had a grand life on this farm. She's a very good hunter. She loves catching rats, and she eats so many of them that she gets so fat she has trouble moving almost. Don't you? She's called Ravina after her father, Reeve. She's professionally a thoroughbred ragdoll. There's another one, a younger kitten that's Should be running around somewhere too. There's the front fence. Anyway, this is Mum likes nature. No, so does Dad. Dad and Mum are both keen gardeners, and Tim's got green fingers. I just like to. You don't know just what I'm really good at yet, but I like playing around with. A bit like Tim, I've got my interests in trying to come up with ideas that might make things better for us and hopefully others as well. There's a woody wagtail up there in the tree. The cats love to stalk those birds, and they occasionally have a win and catch one, which is a bit sad. There's a finch. Poincianus. And this is Mum's forest. We planted this using natives. Some of them we transplanted from other places on the farm. I think these narrow leaf bottle trees. You can see they've got a narrow leaf. There's broadleaf bottle trees and narrow leaves. So I think there are narrow leaves there, and there are narrow leaves there in the scrub. There's more natives here. Hay on the ground. A good thing about being here is there's plenty of garden hay. There's people who grow hay and they don't always sell it all. I always just buy a bale of hay. It's fairly affordable and good for the garden. There's a gate. And that's old, very old. I think that might even been packing wool or cotton or something. Those hessian bags, but beneath that's a tree that frosts. So, and there's another one over here. If we're trying to protect the trees that frost until they get enough height that they're safe. So what will happen in the morning is the bags will come off and the tree will get light. It's a job, but you often don't get that many frosts here. We've even got a set of swings made at the local engineering works. Not sure what this tree is, but it's very prickly. And for that reason the birds tend to like it, but I don't see any nests in it. Yeah, you can see a finch nest in there. Anyway, I'll hopefully make another recording at some point and try and improve and show you what interesting things I'm involved in. Oh, I'll just show you there. There's my car, my mode of locomotion. It's a 1993 Hyundai Excel. Has been a very good little car. There's Tim. And then the wheels in the background. I'll catch you later.